Welcome to Sunny Day Stamping. I'm Julie Baca. Check out this super cool fun fold card I'm going to show you how to make today. It looks really complicated, but I'm telling you, it's very easy and I'm so excited to show you. Now, all the measurements for this card are going to be over on my website, sunnydaystamping.com. You'll be able to find the list of supplies. You can purchase supplies there if you want to make this card just like I did, but you can also use this same layout for probably any stamp set you have at home. So let's get started. I'm going to be using the Quiet Meadow stamp set. This is an oldie but a goodie, and I'm going to use the Stampin' Blends to color in these images. I'm also going to use, I want to make a thank you card, so I'm going to use this Good Feelings. This is new in the new annual catalog, so this is going to pair with any stamp set that you have to make really great cards. You also could just use the sentiments that come in this stamp set here. Now, these are the different papers that you need. It looks really kind of confusing, but these kind of go on top of there. You see how they just are going to frame that out. So I've got all the measurements for this. Like I said, over on my website, there's a link down below in the description. Now, these you may think are unusual sizes, but I did that on purpose that you can cut these out. Or if you have this stitched rectangles die set that has the little stitching around the edge, these are the exact measurements of those die sets, so you can just run those through your cut and emboss machine if you'd rather do that. Now, I send these out to my email subscribers. They're the print and make project sheet for every project that I have on my YouTube channel. If you'd like yours, subscribe and then tell me which ones that you want. You can have all of them. Now, one thing to note, this is not a regular size card base because we're actually going to end up mounting it on here at the end. So this piece, you got to make sure, is 5 1/4 by 8, scored at 4 inches. So I'm actually going to start by stamping the images onto my white card bases, although these I'm using vanilla in this design here. So I'm going to ink up this. I'm going to use black memento ink because I'm using the Stampin' Blends markers. Those are alcohol-based markers, so you want a water-based ink. Now, I'm stamping these first because we want to let these dry nice and good before we use the markers. I don't know if you have these markers and if you've used them and start coloring on them and then they start bleeding into the black, and it's just because they haven't dried enough yet. Now, in the Quiet Meadow stamp set, they have these adorable little tiny flowers that I'm kind of addicted to. I will put them on the envelope as well, although I'm not going to show you how to decorate the envelope, but just know that it's there. Okay, so we're going to set these aside to dry, and then you're going to grab your square piece. Now let me show you. What we're going to do is end up cutting this and attaching it to the card base. But first, we are going to stamp on it. I'm going to use this. This comes right out of that Quiet Meadow stamp set. I'm using like all the things out of here. And so I'm going to just stamp in the Highland Heather onto the Highland Heather piece of cardstock. You could also use a piece of Designer Series paper, but I'm kind of making my own Designer Series paper right here. So the next step, I've got some tips on how to cut this. So we're going to line up the point of this square into the trough, into that brown trough, and close it down. Now, I don't know if you've ever had this problem. If I pull this down, I might damage the delicate little corner there. So I'm actually going to stab it right through the middle and go this way and this way. You can do that with all kinds of different cutting if you have delicate edges. Now I'm going to line this up on the 1/2 inch mark on this side. It's just easier for me. And we're going to score this at a 1/2 inch on both triangles. Roll this one around and do the same thing. And now, because I love this little tiny flower, I'm going to just add one at each little corner here, so that when it's opened up, it'll just be right there. So cute. And I'm going to add a little love down here. You know what? I should have checked to see. Oh man, I lucked out because the words, this is gonna be my bottom flap and the words are going the right direction. I should have checked, but. So now what you're gonna do is grab your card base. Well, actually first you gotta fold these down and use your bone folder. If you're using the Stampin' Up! Paper that's extra thick, you're gonna need your bone folder. Now I'll just show you what we're gonna do is attach it back here, but we don't want these flaps out here. So what we're gonna do is just take your paper snips and just go along that edge, just real quick. These paper snips are so sharp, I just love them. All right, now we can glue this in. I'm gonna use liquid glue. Just gonna put some glue on the flap. And you're not gonna put it on the inside, we're gonna put it on the outside and fold it down. I'm opening it up because I feel like I can get it nice and straight like that. But then it is gonna be on the outside like that. There we go. So that's all ready for us for when we get our stamped images colored in. Well, I just want to make sure that's pressed down really well. I've felt it wiggling around. So, okay, I'm going to set this aside. So these are the Stampin' Blends markers. They're sold in sets of 2, one light, one dark, so that you can get gorgeous dimension on your projects. It comes with a regular tip and a brush tip. I really love the brush tip. Now in this stamp set, it's got this delicate stem. So I'm really kind of just brushing it down. And I'm going to color this all in with this light Granny Apple green. You can use any green that you have. Actually, I shouldn't do the leaves because one thing you want to do with the Stampin' Blends is that while it is still wet, it blends together. So I'm going to wait on that because I'm going to add some dark into the leaf. So I'll show you here. I'm going to add some green here, here, here. Uh-oh, I went outside the line right there. And then add a little bit of dark at the base of these leaves. Now, you could, like, do your dark first. People go either way. Doesn't matter. So I'll do that. And then blend this in with the light. All right, now I'm going to move into my Highland Heather, and I am going to start with the light one and just move it around here. These, I don't know, if you love coloring, you will love these markers. If you hate coloring, you will love these markers. They are so easy. Like, you don't have to get all the way to the edge because it kind of spreads just the tiniest bit. And it's just smooth and wonderful. Now, when I was testing this project, I was using some just regular cardstock, thick, nice cardstock, but not as nice as Stampin' Up!, which is why I was practicing with it. And I noticed it was bleeding all over the place. So if you have these markers and they are bleeding, I mean, they're supposed to bleed underneath, but like, I guess I mean spread around. It very well could be your cardstock. Stampin' Up's cardstock is really good and I'm kind of addicted to it. Oh man, you may have noticed I got some smudge on there. That's a bummer. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. So in this Quiet Meadow stamp set, there's this splatter. This is awesome for covering up smudges. Which, I don't know, it happens to me a lot. I think I try to go way too fast. Okay, so I'm going to actually just take my Highland Heather and go right over that. Hey, I mean, I can still see it, but I think people won't see it the first time they look at the card. All right, so on here, we're going to take, when you cut all this out, you will have a scrap of paper. So grab that and you're going to stamp your sentiment on there. I'm going to do You're Too Kind out of the Quiet Meadow. And you can use whatever size you want. I have smudge all over me. Look at me. Sorry. What am I saying? Oh yeah, take your paper trimmer and just trim this thing down. Yeah, there's no measurement for the sentiment piece, so just trim it down to whatever looks good to you, whatever size scrap piece that you had. And what we'll do is pop that up with Stampin' Dimensionals, but not yet because we want to attach it to our black base, and we'll do that in a minute. So let's finish coloring these. Now, one thing I just wanted to note was these are alcohol markers. So if you know alcohol, like it makes things dry out. So you want to make sure when you are done with these that you hear that click. And I even close it in between using the different colors too. Other thing is, do you see that dark? I just put that dark on there, and there's a really sharp edge, which I don't want. You go back through with your light and just blend it in, and it goes away. I'm going to finish coloring these real fast and be right back. Now, if you wonder where to put in the dark highlights for that dimension, just follow the lead from what your stamp is like showing you, because there are like lines in here. So I'm just going to go right over them with my marker. Okay, now I'm going to take my dark Daffodil Delight. Actually, I'm going to use the other tip for this, and I'm going to color in just the center here. And I'm going to leave that other white. I just really liked how that looked. I think that looked really cool. Yeah. Ooh, let's add some of that splatter onto this one too. Even though I didn't make a mistake, I think it will look cool. Ooh, yeah, that looks pretty. All right, last one. So now the new catalog, the new annual catalog is out. I don't know if you've looked at it. If you would like a copy, you can request one. I've got a link down below. If you are like me and like your wish list is so long, consider being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You can get, for just $99, you pick out $125 worth. And then if you join in the month of May, you get all those new in colors, the inks, the paper, and the designer series paper. Is such an awesome deal. Free shipping too. So, and honestly, that's how they got me to join, because I'm like, I want a deal. And then I'm like, oh, I guess I'll make videos. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to do any of that. You can just be your own customer. You get 20% discount on everything that you purchase. Now you're going to grab your card base again. We're going to put the big one on the inside. My hands are a little sweaty. It's all of a sudden like hot out, so I got to do this. All right, there we go. And I'm probably nervous because I'm making a video. Let's be honest. Okay, so now the front of your card, you're going to fold these flaps down. And this goes right here, but you don't want to glue that down because we want to be able to open it. So you're actually just going to put enough glue right there and glue that in place. So, and I made the mistake before of putting way too much glue here and it gooshed out. So don't do that. Oh man, let me fold this in. Okay, now, other tricky part, getting this puppy straight, which is why I like that liquid glue, because I can move it around. Does that look straight to you guys? I gotta pick it up. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm just gonna press right there. Make sure this still opens. Ooh, here's one tip. See how there's more coming off that edge than that edge? That means it's not straight, Julie Baca. Twist it. There. No, that's definitely not straight. I'm gonna go with what my eyeballs say on the front. Okay, there we go. That's good. Now we can add this that on the front here. I'll pop it up with some dimensionals. You could add some ribbon. That would be so pretty. You could add die cuts if you wanted. I was just trying to keep this pretty simple. I'm just gonna put it right in the middle like that. Now we've got one more piece. Oh wait, I want to add, this has that little love. I want to add some love on this. We're just gonna put it right there. There, now I feel better. Okay, this goes right in the middle here, and you want to double check that when this closes down, that you can't see this little surprise that when they open the card, it'll be a little image right there. I think that's so cute. Okay, so now let's test it. Yeah, you can't see. Is this straight? Good. Okay, now we're going to add the base. That's too much purple. I'm going to get some black. Oh yeah, that looks so much better. We're going to do black base, and yeah, just play around with the colors. I've actually got some more examples to show you in just a minute. I was having fun playing with colors, and I'll show you. I used some white, and I used some white cardstock for the base and some vanilla too. Just press this down. All right, let me show you. So I just wanted to show you the difference. This is with the vanilla background. This is the one we made, and here it is in white, so you can decide which one you want. I used the Quiet Meadow stamp set for this. I just kind of changed things up a little bit. This one I used Highland Heather also, just like the card we made, but I did it on Smoky Slate with some soft succulent. And in this one, I only used the Quiet Meadow stamp set, just so you can see what you can do with one great stamp set. Now on these last two, I used that Good Feeling stamp set for the inside. This one is with Calypso Coral, and this one is my favorite in pale pink. I just think it is so precious. Good Feeling stamp set on the inside. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you try this card or if you have any questions. Don't hesitate to leave me a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Have a sunny day.